Welcome CRM crew, my name is Nick, and in today's video I'm going to be going over all of the features inside of the free version of HubSpot CRM. I've created chapters down below, so you are more than welcome to skip ahead to any part of this tutorial that you need to watch to learn how to use a particular feature. This video is literally a one-stop shop for learning HubSpot CRM, so feel free to skip ahead if you'd like to. If you are signing up to HubSpot CRM for the first time, it would be greatly appreciated if you could use my link in the description below, as it really, of course, does help me out. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. So I'll see you shortly in a moment's time. So once you've signed up or logged in, either by following my link in the description below or you've already signed up, you will then come to the home screen like we are on here. Now, this is the home page, and I'll come back to this, but the first thing that I'd like to go over in this tutorial is how to get your team members on board, because obviously that is really important. So in order to do so, what we need to do is go to the cog in the top right hand corner here, go to the cog, and then from here under account setup down here, we want to go to users and teams. So we'll go to users and teams, and then in order to add an additional user to your HubSpot CRM system, what we need to do is press the create user button up the top right hand corner here, and this is where you can go ahead, add their email address, and then from here you can assign permissions, and then you can send the invite to their email address, where they will then need to go ahead, create an account, create a password, fill in some relevant details that HubSpot may be asking for, and then from there they can go ahead and access the HubSpot CRM system as well. Now, given that HubSpot is a little bit different to other CRM systems, it means that we can have as many users as we would like on the free platform. Whereas if you start going to the marketing suite and the services suite that HubSpot provide, then there's a limitation on the number of users. But I am a big fan of the way HubSpot has set up this free user system, and then you can assign certain users to certain things. Also, if you've got a whole host of users to add to your HubSpot system, you can add them via a CSV file, and if you press that, it will walk you through how you can go ahead and add those to the system, or it will walk you through the wizard to get everyone on board into the system. So now we have got our team added, and of course that is the most important aspect of any CRM system, having a team on board and using everything. I'm going to head back over to the home screen. Now we are back on the home screen, I am going to walk you through each of the tabs up the top here, and under each tab, of course, there are different menus under the drop down menu, and I'm going to walk you through each of these. So to start with, of course, I'm going to go to the contacts up the top here, and then I'll just go to my contacts or contacts. Now, contacts inside of the HubSpot CRM system is essentially where you're going to be tracking all of your contacts. It's where you want to be tracking anyone that's got any association with your business, and you will want to be putting those into your CRM system. Now, my recommendation would definitely be to track everyone. Don't just exclusively track people in relation to the sales, for example, or deals that we'll come on to in a moment's time in this video. Track everyone, even if it's your accountant. It's just better to have that data inside of the system if any of your other team members need to get access to that data. Now at the top here, we've got all contacts, my contacts, and unassigned contacts. So we've got a few different views. We can also add additional views as well if we'd like. And we've also got filters down the bottom here where we can select contact owner, create date, last activity. We can search via these different things. So as you can see, last activity date, yesterday, tomorrow, for example. Okay. In order to create a contact, what we need to do is press the create contact button up the top right hand corner here, and it's really simple. So I'm going to go ahead and enter in the information now for you. So now I've added some information into our HubSpot CRM system. As you can see, I've already done this before, so do ignore this bit here. But you can see I've added our phone number, my email address, first name and last name, and I can also select the life cycle stage of this. So what is this particular contact? Is it sales qualified, lead, opportunity, customer? Is it other? So like I said, adding your accountants, you can put other, and then from there we've also got a lead status. So is this particular contact a lead as well? And then we can sort by these different options, and then in the future we can go ahead and search for those different options as well. So as you can see, I've already created this contact, so I'm just going to cancel out of this. But if you were to go ahead and create the contact, you just need to press the create contact button, and then you will come to this page here. And as you can see, this is where we can go ahead and manage any particular contact. And we've got so many options to manage our different contacts. We can create notes, emails, log calls, make a phone call, log calls. We can create tasks, schedule a meeting, all for this particular contact, all within the HubSpot CRM system. So there's so much we can do to manage our records, manage our information, and then not only that, as you can see here, we've got all that information available to us as well, and we can use that information, or other team members can also use that information to see what is going on with a particular record. So we've got our contacts. Hopefully that has explained briefly how to use your contacts. It's really self-explanatory, of course. As you can see here, this is all data. By the way, it is fake data, so there's no GDPR breach here. This is all custom data with the exception of my information here, and I'm happy for that to be out. So moving on from our contacts, we're then going to go to companies. Now, companies is exactly the same as contacts, with the exception that the companies is obviously the business and the contact is the individual that works for the business. So again, you've got your views up the top here. We've got filter options, as you can see. So in order to create a new company, we go to the create company button up the top right hand corner here, press create company, and then from here, as you can see, what it asks for is the company domain and the company name. So I'm going to go ahead and enter in my domain and CRM crew, and as you can see, it's really clever in that it automatically fills out a lot of this information. Now, of course, it pulls it from LinkedIn, as you can see, but that is really useful, and obviously is going to save your team, yourself or your team, a lot of time. So a nice little feature, and then you can select the industry in which the business works in and the type of business this is in relation to your business. So whether it's a reseller, vendor, a prospect, etc. And once you're happy with that, just like contacts, press the create company button, and then from here, as you can see, it will take you to an identical page where you can go ahead and create notes, emails, calls, log, all of that stuff. You can create tasks, meetings, etc., all within the HubSpot system, and then again track it against the company and also the contact, like we demonstrated on the other page. So we've got so many options with the HubSpot system. It's really good, really easy to use. Moving on from companies, again, I'm going to go to the top and let's go to phone calls. I'll quickly explain. Unfortunately, with phone calls, we don't have access to any of the real features for phone calls, because it is part of the paid version. But if you did, it essentially allows you to manage your video conferences, your phone calls, etc. And you can save the recordings of those on your HubSpot system, and then you can go ahead and break them down, discuss, have a conversation with what went well, what didn't go so well, why you did or didn't get the sale, etc. So that's what calls are all about. And then from here, let's go to our activity feed. So the activity feed provides literally a feed of information of everything that's going on inside of the HubSpot system. So as you can see, Nick Boardman booked a meeting with Nick Boardman on the 27th of October, and this is how it happened on the 29th. So this is showing all my old activities, but you can also ensure that it only shows your activities that are coming up in the future. And not only that, we can also select the activity type. So if we only want to see the meetings, the forms, the sent emails, email clicks, email opens, etc., then we can do as well, just to get a really good insight into what's going on inside of our HubSpot CRM system, all the activity, and make sure we're keeping on top of everything. Now, moving on from activity feed, we also have lists. Now, I'm a really big fan of lists. This is a way of breaking down the information and the data we have inside of our HubSpot system and then utilizing it. So what lists essentially allow us to do is use our filters to then find particular contacts that match filters inside of our HubSpot system or match certain criteria inside of our system, and then add it to a particular list. Now, you can have two types of lists. You can have active or static lists. Static is you run it once, any record that matches a particular criteria at that particular time that the list is run will be added, and no more records will ever be added. Or you can have active, where any time a new record that is added to the system matches the criteria, it will be added to the list. So it's really useful, and it's really good when it comes to email marketing and things like that, because you can just use a list to then directly target that particular group of records that you know would be a suitable audience for that particular email marketing campaign, for example. On the left hand side here, you can see the filters, and we can go ahead and use every single filter option. Like we were creating with the contacts, what's the purpose of the particular record, etc. That's where you can go ahead and use the filters and say, I only want to see records that have the purpose of this, that, and the other. Now, I have done a separate video on how to use lists, so feel free to check that out on my YouTube channel if you'd like to, because they are a little bit complex when it comes to the filters, because we have and or filter criteria, so it can get a little bit confusing, so check that out if you'd like to. Now, moving on from lists, up the top we now have conversations. So we've got inbox, chat flows, snippets, and templates. Now, inbox up the top here, this is a really clever feature where we can go ahead and essentially draw all of our communication channels into one place and then manage it all from one place. So as you can see here, we have got my inbox, which is literally looks like an email inbox, and we can see that we have got different communication from different places. Now, this is where, like I said, we can channel all of our different communication channels into one place. And if I go to my inbox settings down the bottom left hand corner here, I'm just going to go to channels. You can see that we can connect live chat as if you had, you know, when you've got a live chat on your website, and then someone might start interacting with that live chat. That will then come straight into your inbox and you can start having a conversation. You've also got your email, so your email address can be directly integrated with the inbox as well. And you can also connect Slack, so you can really easily manage everything that you've got going on, all these different communication channels in one place. So it definitely makes things a lot easier to use. And as you can see, it's literally like writing a chat, writing an email response. You've got chat and then you've got comment. Comment is internal, chat is obviously the response. So let's say you get a live chat message, and then you can go ahead and respond to that particular live chat, hopefully help them out or get a sale, whatever it is. This is the best place, and it's a good tool. So definitely a very good tool to help you and your communication. Moving on from inbox, we have our chat flows. So chat flows is like the communication on a website that you have in the bottom right hand corner. Often it will ask you a question, it's like a pop-up chat. There's one right here, for example. If I press that, I'm sure I can run through these, and this is the setup. So if I press talk to sales, it will take me to a different avenue, or if I press ask a question, again it will take me to another. So that is chat flows, and you can go ahead and create your own chat flows. So as you can see, welcome message, got any questions, I'm happy to help. And then you can start building out the different avenues based on the user's response in order to get them to the right individual to hopefully help them. So if it's support, they get them to the support team. If it's sales, get them to the sales team. Now, this obviously works for your website. And as you can see at the top, it also can be integrated into Facebook Messenger as well. So a very useful tool. And very easy to use. Hopefully that's given you a good insight into what this is all about. You can build it out down here, have a play around, and then press the target. You've got display options, and then you've got some more general options as well. So back to the home screen, and then moving on from chat flows, we have snippets. So snippets is a quirky little feature inside of our HubSpot CRM system, and it allows us to quickly add additional information into an email or a response of some description or another. So let me demonstrate for you. We've got our internal name snippet, and then when you want to write some information out, and let's say you're replying to an email that you regularly get, as opposed to having to write out that same thing again and again and again, all you need to do is use the hash key and then write out test. So this is our particular example, but you can have your shortcut set as anything. And then once you do that, it will literally write this out for you. So it's quite clever. It makes things a little bit easier, especially if it's a long piece of information. You don't want to be writing that out every time. So you just write your quick shortcut, and then it will automatically fill in that information in your email response, for example. And as you can see, we can create 5 in the free version, and to create snippet is really just simple. Just press create snippet, give it a name, add some text, and then create your shortcut, and then you can go ahead and use that throughout your HubSpot CRM system. Now, moving on from snippets, we have templates. So templates are email templates. They're not the fancy looking really good email templates. They are more on the response basis. So if you go and press the new template button, we get 2 options. We get start from scratch, or we can create from a template library. So if I'm going to press from a template library, just to give you a very good example, and as you can see, we have a number of options or templates that HubSpot has provided for us. As you can see, subject, contact first name, thought you'd find this interesting, contact first name. So it'd be Nick, thought you'd find this interesting. Your latest announcement this week, insert news, blah, 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 blah. So you can create templates, and this, again, it's not too dissimilar from Snippets, but more like specific emails. For example, you wouldn't just chuck it in any email. This is very, very specific that you're sending out. As you can see, we can create 5 in total in the free version of HubSpot, and they're really easy to use. Again, really easy to edit as well. So, hey, first name, I saw you downloaded placeholder X content, so whatever that might be from our website, as it relates to your needs at company CRM crew. So that automatically would fill in that information. So it's really, really easy and very useful. Obviously, it's a bit of a limitation only getting 5 because there are so many use cases for these templates. But given that we only get 5, we can make that work. You can see why this would be definitely beneficial. Now, moving on from here, we have got our marketing tab. Now, we've got ads, email, landing pages, and forms. Unfortunately, these are all part of the Marketing Hub Professional, so we don't get access to the social, SEO, or the campaigns. But I'll walk you through the ads very briefly here. This is where we can go ahead and connect our Facebook ads, our Google ads, our Bing ads as well, all into one place, and then manage it all from our HubSpot CRM system. I'll walk you through this quick demo. Unfortunately, as you can see, I've not got my ads connected, so I can't run you through that. So which of these sounds most like you? I'm currently running ads, and then we'll start the demo. So it will show you the contacts created by day from the particular ads, and then moving on, you can see the campaigns, lead. You've got the impressions, the clicks, the contacts. So this is where we go ahead and create a new ad, and then from here we can create our ad inside of the HubSpot system. Then from there, give it all the information we need. Again, publish it as we so wish. We can manage our impressions, our clicks, and contacts. One thing I really do like about this is it gives us our percentages, which obviously I'm sure you're familiar with probably using very complex and sophisticated Excel spreadsheets to manage your campaigns. But this fortunately gets rid of all of that nightmare and makes it a lot easier to use. And then from here, once a contact is added to our HubSpot system via a particular ad, then we can go ahead and we can see that information as well. So it's all very, very useful. Now I'm going to exit out of there. So hopefully that's giving you a clear insight into ads. Connecting your accounts is easy. Just do the walkthrough with Facebook or Google or Bing. And then from there, let's go to our emails. This is where we can go ahead and create these nice looking email templates, and we can also manage all the emails that we're sending out. So we've got draft, scheduled, sent, and archived emails, and we can go ahead and send out, plan, schedule all of the new emails that are going out of our HubSpot system for our marketing purposes. So in order to create a new email, just press the create email button up the top right hand corner here, and we can walk through, select some of the basic templates. Unfortunately, these are part of the paid version, but once you've selected a template, like I'm going to do now, we can go ahead and we can go mad with our design. We can customize it exactly how you would like it to look. We've got content side and design side as well. We've also got our settings, and we can select a schedule as well. So as you can see, there's a lot of customization, which is obviously really, really important. One thing you can't get rid of is the HubSpot thing down the bottom here. That doesn't like to go unless you're paying for the HubSpot CRM system, which is a bit of a shame. But oh well, it still serves its purpose, and it does look really good. Like I said, you can customize it to your heart's content. And then once you've done that, you can schedule that particular email to go out. And then from there, you can manage all the analytics as well. So you've got engagement rates, delivery rates, the email performance once you start collecting data, and we can manage them from the different date ranges as well. So there's a lot of options here, and it's really, really easy to do. And then finally, the health tab, I am honestly not familiar with, because this is all about managing your domain's reputation. So it's literally just come out, this new feature, so I'm not well versed in it. So it'd be wrong for me to discuss it, but I like the principle, I like what it's suggesting it can do. So hopefully that will again help your marketing campaigns. From here, we want to go over to our landing pages. Now, landing pages is obviously creating a landing page, a website of sort from our HubSpot CRM system, and then sending out and get people onto that particular landing page to hopefully then go ahead and get them on board onto the system through our forms. So once you go ahead and press the create button, create a new landing page, we need to give our landing page a name. So I'm just going to call it test, press create page, and then we can go ahead, select a template as we so wish. And then again, we can go ahead and customize it to our heart's content, go absolutely mad, just like the emails before. We can add everything we need to add into the landing page. We've got our content, and then we can manage our settings, and we can optimize it as well using some of the words that we're using. And then finally, we can publish that content. We can then send it out to our audience and try and get them to give us contact information that we can add to a marketing list, email marketing list, add it into our HubSpot CRM system. So that's obviously a great use case for your landing pages. And not only that, it's so easy to do. If I press the exit button, as you can see here, this one has already been created, and we can go ahead and just go straight onto it. It will load up. This is what it looks like. If I press the open landing page button, this is exactly what the landing page looks like. I've not customized it or added a form or anything like that, but this should give you an example. So you can go ahead, send out that address, and then get people onboarding and get that contact information collected, and then start marketing to it. So very good tool, and makes it's what I like most is obviously the customization, but also how quick and easy it is to do as well. Moving on from our landing pages, we finally have forms. Now, forms are obviously directly connected with our landing pages. We're going to create a form and we can do two things with it. We can either embed it into our own website, like you might be running obviously a website that you want to be collecting email data or any data from. This is where we can go ahead and create a form for that. Or again, you can add it to your landing page and try and collect data that way. So creating a form is really easy. Press the create form button. You've got options, embed form, standalone, pop up, drop down, all of these different options. Select what's right for you. We can use a blank template, or HubSpot has got some form templates like a newsletter sign up, registration, blank template, whatever. Press start, and again, you can start adding what information you want to be collecting. So city, what city they're from. And you can press more, make required, things like that. So in order to submit this form, they must put their email and their city in. We can add follow-up information as well. So create a follow-up strategy plan, and then options as well. We've got some options and style and preview as well. We can just make it look a little bit prettier, and again, suit it to your branding and your image. And obviously, if you're embedding it into your website, you want it to look the same, obviously, with all your different colors and things like that. So that's how you go ahead and do that. So I'll press the back button. I'm not going to save this, and obviously you can then go ahead and embed that into the landing page. Now, moving on from marketing, we have our sales. So using the sales, we have deals, tasks, documents, meetings, and quotes. With this, unfortunately, this is part of the sales hub, and as is the forecasting as well. So if we go to deals up the top here, this is where we can go ahead and track all of our sales. This is the best place to be doing it. This is really useful tool, and I'm a big fan of this inside of the HubSpot CRM system. In order to do so, you'll probably come to the list view, and this is where we can go ahead and create a new deal. So it's exactly the same as contacts and companies. You just need to fill in some relevant information and then associate the company and the contact that this particular record is for. And we can also select the pipeline. So if you're on the paid version, you can select the multiple pipelines. Unfortunately, in the free version, we only get one. And then we can select the deal stage as well. So whichever stage this particular sale starts at. So usually and traditionally, you want it to start at the very beginning, the very first sales stage. But if you're a bit late to the game, maybe you can go ahead and jump a few options because you know where it is in real life stages. And once you've done that, you can go ahead and press the create record. Now, as you can see, I've already created one. We've got our deals here, but my favorite way of managing them is using the Kanban view. And this is where we can literally just drag and drop from one to the other. So you can go ahead and move the record accordingly as you so wish from one different stage to the other. It tells you the value and the date, or the anticipated date of closing. Move it along. It's nice and easy, and this is the best way to manage this information, in my opinion. It's very useful, and it's so simple to use. Again, you've got your filters up the top here, and again, like, you've got your views as well, so all deals. my deals, etc. And obviously, like I said, creating a new deal is very, very easy. Moving on from deals, we have our tasks. This is really simple. This is where we can just go ahead and create our new tasks, phone calls, emails. So you press the create task button. Title, what is it to do? A call, an email, what's the priority, associated with what records, so assigned to, you can change who it's assigned to. Queue it, if you'd like to, you can create a new queue, and we can select the due date, so when is it due. I would always recommend associating it with a record, so I'll associate it with myself, as you can see here. So I've just associated this particular record with myself, and then fill out some relevant information. So I'm just going to do example task, and then I'll leave it as a to-do. Set the priority as high, of course, and then press the create button. And now I've created a new example task, and we can go ahead, go on there, and we can manage it again for this particular task. We can see that this needs to be done, and this is on this particular contact record. So you can see upcoming, a task, an example task is being assigned, and that's due on the 23rd of December at 9:30. So it's definitely a good way of managing what you need to do inside of your HubSpot system. And again, with tasks, you've got all of these different views: due today, overdue, upcoming. So I can see that that one is upcoming. I've got most engaged. Sorry, this was an example one. And then I've got completed tasks as well. And then you've got some insights on the right hand side, calls and meetings completed this week as well. We've got a feed, which is exactly the same. So contact, feed, activity, and then schedule your calendar if you've connected your calendar to HubSpot CRM, which I'll come on to later in this video. Moving on from tasks, we have documents, and this is literally where we can go ahead and add documents to our HubSpot system. Now, unfortunately, we only get to add 5 documents, and this is just a way of sharing information. But if I'm being totally honest with you, you're better off using Google Drive, something along those lines, if you're using the free version of HubSpot anyway, because we've only got 5 documents. I question how useful it would be. However, if you are or wanting to use that, just press the upload document up the top right hand corner here, and we can upload from your computer an existing file in HubSpot, Dropbox, Google Drive, or Box. So if you select Dropbox, Google Drive, or Box, you need to sign into Google Drive and then associate the particular record that you want to be adding to your HubSpot system. It's really simple. It's just you wonder if it's better off on Google Drive. But there may be a good use case if you want specific information about something that everyone has access to. If there was an unlimited number of documents, this would be a great tool, of course, but unfortunately we only get 5. Also, with documents, we can create new folders. So I've got a test folder here, and we can have an unlimited number of folders. And then once you've created a new folder, you can upload a document to that particular folder. From documents, we have our meetings. Now I'll head over to meetings. Meetings is a clever tool. If you've ever heard of Calendly, this is a means of inviting people to have a meeting with you via a link, and also eradicates that need for constant email communication to find out what time suits who. So I'll demonstrate what it looks like first. Hopefully that gives you a good example. So this is me being able to book particular times in with this particular person. And the way this is done is obviously this looks at this, so my calendar, and then based on my calendar, it suggests times that would work for me. And then I can go ahead and select which times would work for the person booking it. So obviously it does help, and like I said, removes that need for any emails. So if I say I want to book a meeting at 9:45, and then I need to put my first name, last name, and email address in as well, and then that email will then, that meeting will then be booked in with that particular person based on their calendar, and obviously me being happy with the particular time that they've got available. So in order to edit this information, we've got an internal name that we can set, and then these are the requested information in order to book that meeting. And then we can go ahead and press the scheduling button where we can change it to meeting duration. So let's say we want to select a 45-minute option as well. We can change the time zones, availability window as well. We can change the form like I mentioned, and we can also add some automation, so confirmation email and pre-meeting reminder stuff as well. So once you've then created this particular meeting, we can then go, like I said, go ahead, send out that link to anyone that wants to have a meeting with you, and they can book accordingly. Now, this is a really good tool for sales, for example. So if you've got a lot of inquiries you can go ahead and send out that link and they can book a meeting with you once they've inquired about a certain product, and then we can have a conversation and we don't need to go through all of that pain of booking that email. That's what meetings are. Moving on from meetings, we have quotes, and these are quotes that of course we generate for any particular deal. So I've got a test deal here. If we go ahead and create a quote for a new deal, so what we firstly need to do is select the deal that this particular quote is for. Moving on from there, we can then go ahead and choose the template. We need to select an expiration date for this particular quote and then comments. And moving on from there, we go to buyer information. So obviously, because this is directly related to a deal that I've already created, the quote is for this particular person. Select your information as well. So I'm going to select my information. And then from there, we need to go ahead, add the products that we are putting to this quote. If you've not got products, you can go ahead and create them, and then put the signature and payment and then the review at the end. So I'm not going to do this, but it's really simple. I've done a separate video on how to create a quote, so you are more than welcome to go have a look at that on my YouTube channel, and that should answer that question. But obviously, I can't go through each of these in detail because otherwise this video is going to be about 6 hours long. HubSpot has got so many features. It seems to be an endless list of features. So I've kind of had to quickly run through what each one does and touch on it in a basic way. So like I said, create a quote for a deal, and then you can go ahead and send that quote out to that particular person. Hopefully they approve it. If not, you can go ahead, create another quote or amend that existing quote to get the price where you're happy with, and obviously they're happy with as well. So that's everything for our sales. And then on services, we have Service Hub, which we don't have access to, but we do have our tickets. Now on tickets is essentially like a sales pipeline, but for support as opposed to sales. Use tickets when a customer has got an issue with a product or a question that they'd like to ask. What you'd want to do is go ahead and create a ticket, give the ticket a name. Usually have a rule of thumb within the business that you're naming everything in a similar manner. So I'm just going to call this example ticket. And then select the pipeline. Again, we only get one because this is the free version. The status, new, waiting on contact, waiting on us, or closed. Obviously, when we're adding a ticket, we would like it to be from the very beginning, but obviously if you're a bit ahead of the game, you can go ahead and update that accordingly. We can give this ticket a description, the source, so where did this ticket or problem or question arise from, chat, email, form, or phone. So I'm going to just say email. Select the ticket owner, select the priority. So if it's for your top paying customer, obviously you want that priority as high as possible. Select the create date, so obviously that is today. And then we can associate a company and an individual, with this particular ticket as well. So I'm going to associate it with myself just as an example. So you can see here, CRM crew is the business. This particular individual has raised this ticket. Press the create ticket button. We've now got a new ticket. Like everything else, it's very similar in terms of managing with notes, emails, phone calls, log, tasks, meetings. We've got all of that information. We'll see all the upcoming information as well. And then if I just back out of this quickly, we can go ahead and use the pipeline in the Kanban view like I spoke about on the deals area, exactly the same. We can go ahead and drag it to the different stages of the pipeline, of the support pipeline, to hopefully take the question to either get answered or obviously the problem resolved for that particular record or for that particular person. So obviously the sooner we can resolve any problems for our customers, the better, and this is a brilliant way of managing that situation. Now we've got services done, we've got automation, which we don't have any access to in the free version, and then finally we've got reports. We've got dashboards and reports. We don't have analytics, unfortunately. So let me run you through dashboards. Dashboards are exactly what they say on the tin. They are dashboards and they show you relevant data that you'd like to see inside of your HubSpot CRM system. And now we can go ahead and create our own dashboards up the top right hand corner here, and we can select from a different number of options: web analytics, sales, CMS, marketing, all of this various stuff. So in order to create a new dashboard, just press the create dashboard button, give it a name. So I'm going to call this example dashboard. Select who you'd like to have access to this dashboard, so private, everyone, or everyone view and edit, or everyone view only, so whether they can make changes to the dashboard or not. press the create dashboard button, and this is where we can go ahead and add reports to our dashboard, so then we can start looking at the information inside of our HubSpot system. Now that we've got to the dashboard and we can't use it, I'll go back, I'll quickly show you now that we've got our example dashboard available. We can't see anything, but in order to do so, what we need to do is go ahead and go to the reports area, and we can go ahead and create reports or add reports to our dashboards. But unfortunately, we can't create any custom reports inside of our HubSpot CRM system. Again, that is part of the paid version. Fair enough. But there are so many options in the reporting library. Up the top right hand corner here, there you go, we have 174 reports available to us, which is a ridiculous number. Surely that should give you all the answers you're looking for your data. If not, of course, you go ahead, get the paid version, and you can go ahead and really specify the information that you want to be seeing. But as you can see, there are a whole host, a number of different options. I could be scrolling forever, so you can go ahead and use all of those reports. Select the save report button, or you can go ahead and just run the report. So if I press save report, you can then go ahead, give it a name, you can add it to a dashboard. So let's say I want to add it to an existing dashboard, and the dashboard I want to add it to is our example dashboard. Press the save and add button, and then that report has now been added to the dashboard. And if we head over to our dashboards area, go to up the top, go to our example dashboard, you can see now that that has been added to our dashboard. So it's really, really simple. We can go ahead and we can make changes. We can delete it if we so wish. We can also make these bigger and smaller as well using the cubes on our dashboard. So reports are really simple. You can see here, we can see the dashboards that they're associated with, who owns them, when they were last updated. We've got some of our favorite reports, custom reports, unfortunately we don't have access to. On dashboards, not on dashboards, things such as that. Now we've got to our reports area. I'm just going to discuss our notifications button up the top here, and this provides you with notifications of everything that's going on inside of the HubSpot system, or anything you need to know about. So when you start using your HubSpot system, you'll realize what's going on, the notifications, why they're useful. If you're getting email responses, things like that, this is where you will see that information. You can also use the actions, archive it all, mark it all as read, and we've got some settings as well. But I'm just going to back out of there quickly. And now we are back on the home screen after demonstrating what the notifications look like. And I want to quickly walk you through how to connect your calendar and connect your email. So if you go to the cog up the top right hand corner here, and then go to your preferences, and then just go to general. And if you want to connect your email, press the email button, and you can go ahead and connect your email address. Once you press connect email, you'll then need to walk through the Google setup and fill in your information accordingly. And you then need to give Google and HubSpot permission and access terms and conditions, blah, 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 blah. Make sure they're all happy, and then you can go ahead and send emails directly from your HubSpot CRM system via that particular email. And again, that's the same for calendar. If you go to your calendar area, you can go ahead and connect your calendar to your HubSpot CRM system. And this is obviously where you can manage things like the meetings, like we discussed earlier. And also, because it would be two-way syncing, you then also have anything that's updated on your HubSpot system will then communicate with your calendar, and you'll be able to see it on your normal calendar on your phone, for example. So you can see, oh, I've got a meeting, someone's booked a meeting with this person. Oh, I've got a task to complete, things like that. So you've got that integration that will make managing your life so much easier to do. And so I do strongly recommend connecting your email and your calendar as well. And finally, I'm just going to go through some of the settings. So you've got profile, you can change your name. One thing I do want to mention is your default homepage. You can select it to contacts, deals, email, lists, tasks, whatever. I've got mine on dashboards because obviously I want to set the data that I'm seeing. So I'd recommend using dashboards, and then if you go to your homepage, you can select which dashboard you'd like to see as well. Going back to the settings quickly, I'm just going to go through. You've got your account defaults here. So you've got your relevant information, you've got security, branding, user defaults. Currency is a bit of a strange one. You can change it from US dollar to the British pound, for example, or anything else. You can only, unfortunately, have one currency at a time though. So if you need to edit that, feel free. I know I would need to if I was using the HubSpot system. We've got users and teams like I discussed at the start of the video, and we've got properties, objects, import, export, inbox, marketing. This is quite a lot here, so just know that it's here. Have a look around. You're not going to break anything by having a play around, and hopefully that will get you on your way to getting the most from your HubSpot CRM system. And I'll see you shortly in a moment's time. I trust you are now a master of the free version of HubSpot CRM and all of the features that accompany it. If you do have any questions at all, either just put them in the comment section below, or you are more than welcome to email me. My details are in the description below. I will do my absolute best to get back to you and answer the question that you may have. If you've enjoyed the video, please consider giving it a like and possibly even subscribing. And otherwise, thank you ever so much for watching, and I'll hopefully see you shortly in the next video. Thank you and goodbye.